Spirit and Word Ministries. Happy 9th anniversary, Emmanuel.
I want to say happy 9th birthday to Spirit and Word Ministry.
And I would just first like to say happy anniversary to our ministry.
And I just want to say a big happy birthday, happy 9th birthday to Spirit and Word Ministries.
Happy 9th anniversary.
Once again, I would like to wish Spirit and Word Ministries a happy 9th anniversary.
Spirit and Word Ministries, happy 9th birthday. I'm so glad I'm part of this ministry.
Happy 9th birthday, Spirit and Word Ministries.
How my life was before coming to Spirit and Word Ministry was crazy. It was very hectic, but so it all started when I was still in high school, still getting into it. So I would say when it hit about the age of 17, actually I would say by the age of 15, 14-ish, I started to go. I went to one birthday party, and that was like an adult birthday party. So when I went in there, I thought it was just like, you know, it's older kids, like it's okay, it's not going to be that big of a deal. But when I went there was drinks, there was so many things that I was exposed to, because when you go to a public school, you get exposed to all of that. When you go to private school, you don't get exposed to all of that. So I was more in private school, not knowing all of these drinks and all of that. So of course when I went to that party, not understanding all of this stuff, but I did not touch the drink in that moment, because I was still 14-year-old. So by the time I was turning 15, I got friends that were not good friends that were with me. I was hanging out with them, and they were showing me things that I've never knew before, because I was in public school. So public school, you won't know many things, but private, yeah, so you know a lot. So I was friends with them, and they would come to my house, and then we were like, that day I was literally turning 15, and that day they gave me vodka to try it, and I did not want to try vodka, but they're like, no, you should try it if we're going out. Because when I went first time to the party, it was so sweet to the point like I need to go again. I must go again to that whatever the party is. So I got used to in that moment. I started going to parties constantly. So that day turning 15, one of the friends like, you need to drink before we go out to this party, and like it's gonna be fun. If you don't drink, it won't be fun for you, because you just be sitting down there. But if you're drunk, it will be much better for you. So they gave me the drink. It was vodka. It was like a very strong. It was not mixed with any other drink. So they gave me a little bit. They're like, just try a little bit, because if you don't try, we're not taking you out. So of course, me with my craziness, follow, I just take that thing, drank it, and it was disgusting. I just thought I was drinking like a nail polish remover, and it was just, the smell was just so disgusting. I could not take it. So in that moment, we got ready. We planned to sneak out, right? So before we sneak out, we put like a pillow underneath the blanket and cover it, so it looks like the person is sleeping, but I was not even sleeping in there. So we had 2 beds. Me and one of my friends will put, it looks like there's 3 people sleeping in the bed, and then we locked the front door, our door, and then we sneak out through the window. And by the time we were getting there, we all go dressed up, looking all nice, and makeup was done. Once you try one thing, once you try alcohol, or once you try this party, you begin to start going constantly. You want to try more, and you know, you become those follow. So after doing all these crazy things, I was still doing it regardless what. So I ended up moving in with my sister, because my auntie got sick of me and tired because I was doing all this crazy stuff. So I moved in with my sister, and I thought I could do the same thing, but this one was different. So my sister always constantly playing Emmanuel TV, and I hated it so much, to the point I was so sick of it. I was like, can you stop playing this? And she's like, no, this is what I've been listening to. You find me in my house listening to all this, so you should not ask me what to do. So she just kept playing that, and then I was hearing deliverance and saying out. I'm like, who's saying out in the middle of the night, you know? Like, she just constantly, she plays Emmanuel TV while she's sleeping. She wakes up with Emmanuel TV. She goes to work with Emmanuel TV. In her car when we're sitting is Emmanuel TV. Sometimes just like, I'm sick of you playing Emmanuel TV. So I was just so done with her. So the day she was like, oh, I'm gonna invite you and so my brother and I was meant to go to church on Sunday, and both of us were not interested in going to church. So Sunday came, she was like, okay, we're going to church. We got ready. She was like, Sarah, you better wake up and get ready for church. Me, I just didn't want to go to church at all because I was just so used to it. I was always working on Sunday, constantly working on Sunday. And Sunday is good money, I'm telling you. Even for my age, I felt like it was good money because I was just young, not 18-year-old, wants to work. And Sunday, I just didn't want to go to church. So by the time she was getting ready, she was driving us and we were sitting and she was playing what? Emmanuel TV. And I was just so frustrated. I was like, we're going there with Emmanuel TV, we're coming back with Emmanuel TV. I was just so fed up with it. So by the time we were coming to the church, so the drive was just so long. I said, where are we going? I've never seen this type of church that is so far. So she's like, and then I'm always asking her, are we there yet? She's like, no, we're not there. And I was like, okay. By the time we're getting there, I could hear this music. I was like, okay, maybe we'll see once we enter in, maybe it'll be something nice. So by the time we're entering in, I'm hearing this nice music from the choir. They were singing, they were in harmony, and I just fell in love with it because I was like, oh my God, they understand me, as a youth, as a young girl. Coming inside the church, Prophet was ministering the teaching. He was teaching everyone and everybody was writing notes, and I'm just sitting there staring. Why are they writing notes? Are we in school? It was weird. So everybody was writing notes, and the time we finished, sermon was done, and now it was time for a prayer. So he started to start praying for people. There was people on prayer line, people were manifesting. I've never seen manifesting before. I've never seen deliverance before. I've never seen a prophet that touches people and delivers, beside seeing it with my sister posting Emmanuel TV, showing us constantly every day. But that's the only time I've seen. But me seeing life, real life, that was the part that I was like, whoa, I've never seen a prophet before. I always had a pastor. That time when Prophet was delivering people, so it was coming to my line. So as he was coming constantly, he was coming, the one row finished, my row was about to start. Actually, the second row was about to start. Me and my brother were so smart, we're like, oh, we're gonna run to the toilet. So both of us, we just grabbed our stuff and we literally went to the toilet and sat there. Somehow we timed it exactly the minute he touched everybody. We decided to come out, and when I was coming out, he already finished delivering everyone, and that time he was doing mass prayer, and which I just went along with that mass prayer. I was just standing there I've never seen something like that. And then my sister comes to me, he's like, have you been delivered? Have you been touched? I said, what do you mean? I was like, I haven't been touched. And then this little kid comes out of nowhere, have you been touched by a man of God? I was like, no. He's like, you need to go now, and get touched. I was like, I'm not going anywhere with my attitude. So the little kid was like, no, you should go. I said, I'm not going anywhere to get touched. What do you mean? So I immediately got my stuff, and I told my sister, let's go in the car. So I grabbed her key and I went in the car. Me and my brother, we waited for her, and then she comes in the car. So she's like, so you guys didn't get touched today? I was like, no, we didn't get touched today. Where were you guys? And then one of the little kids was like, oh, they ran to the toilet and they stayed in the toilet until Prophet touched everyone. And then my sister was like, don't worry, next Sunday it will come. So the next Sunday comes, we're coming to church, the same deliverance was happening, and Prophet was coming towards our area, and my sister made sure we were next to her at all times, so we must get that touched. So we're standing there, Prophet was praying for everyone. By the time he was coming to my family, me and my brother and my sister, and he touched my sister, and then he started touching my brother, and then of course he gave me a prophecy about me being stubborn and all of that, and my sister was like, yeah, that's true. And then my prophet was like, oh, you need to stop hanging out with those friends that you hang out with. And then in my head, I was like, which friends? Those friends, those are my only friends that I have. What do you mean, So fast forward, we were coming to Thursday service, and that's when I actually received my full deliverance. And that service, it was a special service. It was on Thursday where a lot of people was getting delivered that day. So I was not writing notes as well, and Prophet somehow saw me from far and just looked at me. He's like, little girl. And I'm looking, I was like, which one? I was pretending, which one? But then by the time he's like, yes, you. And then he's like, you don't listen. And then my sister's like, yeah. She just runs out of nowhere. She's like, yeah, she doesn't do anything at home. She thinks she's all of that. And she just, all she does is just makeup, and buy all this stuff and like spending money on the things that she's not even meant to be spending on. My sister was like, yeah, she's a slay queen. And then Prophet was like, snake queen? No, he's like, slay queen. And then Prophet was like, what do you mean slay queen? She does makeup, or she does spend her money, and then she gives attitude to people. She speaks not positive words. She's just so rude, and anything I tell her to do at home, she doesn't do. She doesn't clean anything. She doesn't do anything. All she does just makeup, and dress up, and then go out, sneaking out of the house and all of that. That's all she does. I was receiving that. Prophet was praying for me, so I was receiving my full deliverance in that moment. And in that moment, he kept praying for me, and of course I was vomiting, and I've just never seen stuff like that before. And then of course manifesting as well, and I didn't know what happened after waking up, after getting delivered, didn't know what happened. And then from then on, as life goes on, and I started to change slowly, and my sister started to see the difference about me. Before, because when I was a slay queen, I was buying stuff, because as a slay queen, you want to look nice, you want to look expensive, you want to have that perfume, then the latest iPhone, you just have to have like all this stuff. But after all of that, just getting delivered from it, it was a massive changes in my life. I began to start saving, and then that's when I saved so much money to the point my sister was even shocked. I was doing cleaning, I was cooking. She was even enjoying the food that I was cooking, because she's like, this girl never cooks, she doesn't do anything now. She was so proud. She's like, wow, she's cooking, cleaning, doing all that. And so Prophet was like, if you give me your sister, I will mentor her, I will teach her, and you will see changes in her life. And from then on, massive changes in my life. And Prophet was like, yeah. And my sister was so proud, because I was being a slay queen, which spending so much money. The spirit in me was not allowing me to save money. And I had a vision, I had a dream of what I desire in my life, what I actually want. So I've written down, like at the book of Habakkuk, it says, write the vision and make it clear, and those who reads it will run towards it. So I had that scripture written down, and I was writing down exactly what I wanted to happen after I graduate or before graduation. So my goal was to get my license, to buy a car, and to actually build a house. That's like the main goal that I had within me. So of course, leading on, I was saving up so much. After that deliverance, I began to start saving more money and able to be able to start buy things and the car that I want and all of that. So of course, Prophet was mentoring me in all of that area, and he was teaching us, especially as a youth, how to save and how to use your money wisely. So by the time he's like, so there was a Sunday that it was a Saturday, I was speaking to this young lady. I was like, hey, like one day I'm going to build a house. And she's like, amen. So we're like, okay. So by the time I was getting to that point where I only spoke to her a little bit about how I want to build a house, and God will do it for me regardless what. So that Sunday, I received a prophecy, which I did not know. I thought I was not going to receive a prophecy. I thought I was just too young to receive prophecy, because all I see like older people or older women getting a prophecy. I didn't know that I was going to receive one in that particular Sunday, because I only spoke to that lady about how I'm going to build a house. So that Sunday comes in, Prophet was prayed for everyone, and then he began to start giving prophecies to people. So as he was walking in different lines, different areas, and in that moment, I knew something was going to happen. It was going to be my turn that day, because every time I would sit there, I would say, one day I will stand there and I will testify the goodness of God in my life. So by watching other people's testimony, I was encouraged that I will be able to stand there too as well, and I'll be able to testify how God has changed my life, and how I was before and now how I'm now. So Prophet was coming towards me. As he was reaching to my area, I just thought he won't come to me, it's not me. But as he kept coming. By the time he's like, little girl, and I looked, I thought it was someone behind me, but he's like, yes, you little girl. It's like, one day you're going to build a house. I was like, wow. I just started to cry, and I was like, but I don't have enough. And he's just like, don't worry. And then he prayed for me, and then I was on the ground. I woke up, and he's like, you're going to build a house. And I was like, but I don't have enough. And he's like, you're going to build a house, young lady, little girl. So I just kept saying, but I don't have enough. And then he pulled me aside, and then everyone was like, wow, like she's gonna build a house, this young little girl. And time fast forward, he put me in the front of the congregation, and he says, guys, you should contribute to this young lady so she can buy a house, so she can start building a house. Because I don't even know, I thought that girl that I spoke to on Saturday told man of God that Sarah wants to build a house, and that's why I received the prophecy. But that was not the case. It was the Lord has spoken to prophet the desire of my heart, what I actually wanted to happen. So of course, that day, and I was like, I looked at that girl, I thought she actually spoke. She's like, I did not say anything to man of God, did not even speak to him at all. So he asked me, sir, how much do you have? I was like, I have about 8K, because I was like, you need to have about 20 or 30K in your account to be able to put a deposit in the house. But in that case, the whole church contribute, even little kids will contribute 5 cents. Can you believe it? Like, it was like overwhelming, and I was just felt like I was so blessed to have people like contribute in my life. So they were putting money in the account. They had this little account said Sarah's house. So when they put money in that account, I already had like an 8K in there. So by the time Prophet was like, oh, they've already put like about 10 to 15K in your account. And I was shocked. And it was that Sunday he presented to me, he's like, Sarah, here's the 15K to put a deposit in your house. I was even shocked. So, but because I got encouraged, the congregation was putting money, I started to work even harder for me to be able to make enough money. So I worked so hard to the point that I made 30K in like a month and a half. Like, that's shocking. Like, it was just like, because I received that deliverance of me able to save, I was able to save 30K. I was even shocked myself. By the time I'm adding the other money plus the church money, I'm almost reaching about 60 to 70K in my account, which I was able to put a deposit for a house. And now, by the grace of God, I have a house. I am a landlord, which I'm a bit shocked as well. Every day I wake up, I say, thank you, Jesus, for giving me a house like this. It's such a big house because it's 4x2, and I'm even shocked myself. I thank God for half of the people in the ministry and contribute, and I thank you for Prophet Leslie and Pastor Sarah for the love that you're showing me, not just me, but those around me as well, and all the youths and all the kids around. Pastor Sarah, I love you so much with all my heart, and I pray that the Lord will continue to bless you constantly. You remind me of Proverbs 31 woman, which she takes care of her home, how she loves her family, her kids, and you're just full of love, and you have enough love to share around with those people around you. So I thank you that the Lord will continue to bless you in everything you do. I pray that God will bless you and your household, and you are such an example for all the youths, not just me, and the youth as well. As I was saying, you're that Proverbs 31 woman, and every time I look at you, I just want to be just like you. And I believe that God will give me the grace to continue. And I know you always share your love with those around you, and you always take care of those people around you. You show this compassion, love that for others, and I believe the more I hang around with you, the more I'll be just like you. And I love you so much, Pastor Sarah, that God will continue to bless you in everything you do. And I pray, and I love you so much, and the best is yet to come.